In the kingdom of Elaria, amidst the rolling hills and whispering forests, lived a young woman named Lyra. Born to a humble blacksmith and his wife, Lyra had always dreamed of a life beyond her village. Despite her longing for adventure, she saw herself as someone who needed saving, a notion that often held her back. One fateful evening, while gathering herbs in the dense forest, Lyra heard a thunderous roar that sent birds fluttering from the treetops. Her heart pounded as she saw a massive dragon emerge from the shadows. The dragon's scales shimmered like molten gold, and its eyes burned with an intense, fiery gaze. Terrified, Lyra turned and fled, her feet pounding against the forest floor. She ran until her legs burned and her lungs screamed for air. Eventually, she stumbled into a clearing, her breath ragged and her body exhausted. The dragon landed before her with a resounding thud, its wings folding neatly against its body. Lyra, panting and trembling, finally snapped. "Enough!" she shouted, her voice echoing through the trees. "I am done running!" The dragon blinked in surprise, its head tilting curiously as it regarded her. Lyra stepped forward, her eyes blazing with a newfound determination. "I have spent my whole life in fear, worrying and being scared of what might come. But no more. You will not chase me any longer." The dragon snorted, a plume of smoke curling from its nostrils, but it did not advance. "You have made my legs tired with all this running," Lyra continued, waving her arms emphatically. "Now I am here and you will do what I desire." The dragon looked thoroughly confused but did not move. Lyra, emboldened by its apparent compliance, launched into a tirade about her life's problems, her frustrations and her dreams. She gestured wildly, pacing back and forth as she spoke. The dragon, seemingly bewildered by the outpouring of emotion, lay down and rested its head on its paws. "And another thing," Lyra said, poking the dragon's snout. "You will not leave until I am finished." The dragon tried to back away, but Lyra stood her ground. "Get back! Don't you go anywhere until I am done." Hours passed, and the dragon's eyelids grew heavy. Lyra, still venting her frustrations, noticed the dragon beginning to drift off. "Oh no, you don't," she said, prodding it awake. "You will listen to every word." The dragon huffed and tried to shuffle away, but Lyra chased after it. Finally, the dragon had enough. With a mighty flap of its wings, it took to the sky. Undeterred, Lyra gathered her remaining strength and leaped onto its tail, clinging tightly as the dragon soared upward. "Land this instant," Lyra shouted, climbing up the dragon's back with surprising speed. "I am not done talking to you!" The dragon twisted and turned, trying to shake her off, but Lyra held on. She reached its neck just as they cleared the treetops. Desperate to regain control, she covered the dragon's eyes and steered its head in the direction she wanted to go. "If you want to see, you'll do as I say," she commanded. The dragon, realizing it was at a disadvantage, nodded reluctantly and descended, landing gracefully in the clearing once more. Lyra dismounted triumphantly, patting the dragon's side. "And that," she declared, "is how you became my dragon." Over time, Lyra and the dragon, whom she named Auron, formed an unbreakable bond. She learned to ride with skill and grace, becoming a legend throughout Elaria as the fearless dragon rider. One day, while flying over the kingdom, Lyra spotted a handsome young man walking through a meadow. Curious, she landed Auron a safe distance away and approached him. The man introduced himself as Finn, a traveler exploring the land. They struck up a conversation, and Lyra found herself captivated by his charm and kindness. Unbeknownst to her, Finn was the Prince of Elaria, traveling incognito to experience life beyond the palace walls. He was equally taken with Lyra, drawn to her fiery spirit and adventurous soul. As their friendship blossomed into romance, neither revealed their true identities. Lyra never mentioned Auron, and Finn never spoke of his royal lineage. They enjoyed each other's company, sharing stories and dreams, unaware of the secrets they both held. One day, while strolling through the forest, Finn and Lyra stumbled upon a group of bandits. Finn fought valiantly, but they were outnumbered. Just as all seemed lost, Auron swooped in, scattering the bandits with a roar. Finn watched in awe as Lyra commanded the dragon with ease, finally understanding the depth of her strength and courage. "You're a dragon rider," Finn said, eyes wide with admiration. "And you," Lyra replied, recognizing the royal crest on the medallion around his neck, "are the prince." They laughed, realizing how fate had brought them together despite their hidden truths. From that day on, they faced the world side by side, their love growing stronger with each adventure. Lyra no longer saw herself as someone needing rescue. She had become a hero in her own right, saving not only herself but also the kingdom she loved. And so the dragon rider and the prince lived happily, their bond unbreakable, their love eternal, soaring through the skies on the wings of a golden dragon.